Hi, my name is Gigi Verrey and I got fat. And today I'm here to give you some tips to get you slim again. I wrote a book called Okay, So I Got Fat. And the premise of the book is to teach you how to take a meal and morph it into 2 to 3 other meals during the week. They're called progressive recipes, and I hope you enjoy them. I've got a chicken here, a roasting hen, and I typically make 1 or 2 hens at a time because then I can use the chicken, or the pieces of chicken, at a later date in order to morph it into a salad, into 2 or 3 lunches at a time. So the first thing I'm going to do today is I am going to show you what a basic dressing is. And the basic dressing is actually used in about 90% of all the meals in the book. Okay, so I got fat. It's made of olive oil, garlic, chopped garlic, fresh lemon juice, as well as sea salt. And typically what I do is I make enough to last about 2 to 3 weeks. So what I start with is 3/4 cups fresh squeezed lemon juice, about 2 cups of extra virgin olive oil. It seems like a lot of olive oil. It's not, though, because it's cut with the lemon, which has limon in it. And limon is a natural blood cleaner, as well as high in vitamin C. And then garlic. I'm going to add about 3 minced cloves of garlic. And don't worry about getting this stuff perfect. If you have a little less garlic, a little more garlic, or you like a little more garlic, go ahead and throw it in. You know, it's really about what works for you and your family. And then finally, I'm going to add some sea salt. And I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of sea salt. So for me, that's about a medium-sized pinch. So like many busy moms and dads and families, it takes time to put together a meal. And between rushing around and dealing with the kids' soccer and homework and lacrosse and basketball and baseball and everything else, as well as taking care of yourself and, might I add, working full-time, you need to really put together meals that make sense and that are progressive and that go from one meal to another. So here we have the basic dressing. And to the basic dressing, I'm going to add a little bit of ginger, and I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of the basic dressing. And then, as I mentioned, the basic dressing morphs into many, many different dressings. And in the book, there are about 15 different dressings that you can make just by adding a little blueberry preserve, a little chive, a little soy milk, etc. So I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of the ginger to my basic dressing. And I'm just going to stir that up. And I'm going to just pour that over the chicken. And I'm going to massage the chicken. I know that sounds weird, and I use my fingers for everything. It's just much easier, less to clean up when you're a busy mom, busy dad. Massage all that together, and then I'm going to let that sit. So after you've had your chicken sitting with the basic dressing that's married with salt and pepper and about a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, what you're going to do is you're going to scatter 2 medium-sized quartered yellow onions. Feel free to use red or purple, whatever works best for you and what your family likes. I'm using the yellow today because they caramelize beautifully. So what you're going to do is you're just going to scatter these in the bottom of the pan, like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put your chicken right on top of this. And then you're going to bake it in an oven that's been preheating at 425. So let me show you what the end result looks like. This has been cooking in a 425 preheated oven for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Although I do start with the oven at 500 for 15 minutes, and that locks in the juices and helps further caramelize the onions. Here's the finished product. It is yummy! Well, the first thing we made was the roasted lemony chicken with caramelized onions. And the second meal that we're going to make out of this is very simple. What I typically do is I serve a wild rice and some sort of green, basic green salad with basic dressing. And what I decided to do then is make it into a completely different meal, whether for lunch or for dinner. It works great both ways. So what you do is you take some of the chicken that's left over, and what I typically have to do is take the chicken and put it aside before I feed the family so that I'm sure to have enough left over. I don't know if you have that same problem in your house, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half a cup of chicken, and this is enough to make enough for 2 big lunches. So feel free to double the recipe if you know that you're going to be wanting to eat this a couple of times during the week. So about half a cup of chicken, I put into a bowl, and this is so simple. Sometimes you can use an extra large measuring cup, and that works well too. Then what I'm going to do is take some of my leftover wild rice, about a half cup again, pop that in, and then what I'm going to do is take a half a can of just drained and rinsed garbanzo beans. You can use any kind of beans, but I think these taste luscious. They're thick, and they work really well with the chicken. And the texture adds a little bit of crunch too. And then finally what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the basic dressing. Now remember, we make enough of this to work with about 90% of all the different recipes, as well as work as a basic salad dressing. And as my girlfriend Susan says, since she started using this, she hasn't bought a bottle of salad dressing since. So I'm going to do about a quarter cup. You can do a little less if you prefer. Now remember, the basic dressing has lemon, fresh lemon, it has extra virgin olive oil, which is huge in omega-3s, and it also has some sea salt. So it has all of those ingredients involved. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of extra ground pepper to taste, a tiny bit more sea salt, and then I'm going to stir this up. Now, from here it's up to you. Whatever you have in the fridge. If you want to throw in some fresh baby spinach, if you want to throw in some Napa cabbage, if you want to throw in some romaine, doesn't matter. If you don't have any extra greens, but you want to have this for lunch, serve it with gluten-free crackers. It's amazing. I hope you enjoy it.